Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Rodriguez, and I'll be your teacher this year. We are going to go over this presentation that I have made for you, just to give you some background as to what our classroom rules are going to be, what our classroom expectations are going to be, for you to meet me as your teacher, and what we can do together to ensure that we are creating a fun learning environment for not only for you, but for everyone else in the class. So to start off, we're going to learn about myself. I'm going to give you some information about myself just so that we can get to know each other a little better. We're going to go over classroom expectations, classroom rules in action, consequences, procedures, and technology that we will be using in the classroom. So this is just a little information about myself. I'm Mrs. Rodriguez. I will be teaching for the first year ever. This is one of my passions that I have is teaching and helping others. I graduated in 2013 with my bachelor's degree in education, but I decided that I wanted to further it, and so I decided on getting my master's. I've always wanted to be an English teacher because I love reading, I love writing, and I just wanted to share that passion with everybody else. My goal as your teacher is to make sure that we are building a positive relationship with one another and to make sure that I'm helping you meet your goals inside and outside of the classroom as well. I want to make sure that you enjoy coming to my class and that you look forward to coming to my class. Some of my hobbies include building Legos. Right now I'm building an F1 race car with my husband. So I'm pretty excited about that. I enjoy reading. I love exercising with my husband. And I also enjoy spending time with my husband and my dog. Her name is Tulip. So let's go over our classroom expectations. So as a class, it's important that we create an environment where we can learn without feeling like we're going to be judged. It's important for us to create these norms, and norms are basically our commitment to one another, to making sure we're going to hold each other accountable. And it also allows you to contribute to your own learning experience. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to respect our classmates and your teacher. We're going to participate in class and in group projects. Everyone must contribute to whatever they're working on together. You need to make sure that not one person is doing more work than the other person. Everybody gets the work done equally. Always come to school prepared, taking responsibility of your learning, your actions and behavior, and the use of positive language when communicating with your teacher and your peers. So classroom rules. Classroom rules are created to make sure that we are working in a positive classroom environment. It's a guide for you guys to know what's appropriate to do in the classroom and when it's appropriate to do it in the classroom. So making sure that you're getting to class on time, turning your work in on time, respecting school property, raising your hands, using appropriate language in the classroom, no cell phone use unless it's permitted, respecting the teacher's time and your own time, asking for help when you need it, entering the classroom quietly and respectfully, and tending to your own personal needs before class starts. All right, classroom rules in action. So if class begins at 8:45, then you must be in your seat by 8:45. Taking care of school property means that you're making sure that desks are clean, technology that's been borrowed isn't broken, textbooks aren't written on, they're not torn or being mistreated. Respecting my time as your teacher and your own means that you are not distracting your teacher from teaching the lesson and you are paying attention to what is being taught. Entering the classroom as if you're ready to learn. I'm excited to see you guys every time you guys come into class. And I know you're excited to see one another, but it's important that we use our inside voices, making sure that we're speaking at a respectable tone, just so that we can make sure that our classroom is safe and working seamlessly. All right, consequences. First is going to be a verbal warning. So that's your first offense. Your second offense, if the verbal warning hasn't been followed through, is detention. Loss of privileges is also part of the first offense. Making sure that I get parental and guardian involvement is the third offense. So if detention didn't help any, you're still doing what you're doing, we're going to get parents involved. Also with that comes with a referral to the principal slash administration, just to make sure that we are being accountable of our own actions and making sure we have a positive environment for our classmates. All right, procedures. So procedures are a little different than rules because procedures are basically what the whole school has to follow, not necessarily just the classroom. So we need to follow our dress code. We need to arrive on time. Only one person to the bathroom at a time, 10 minutes max, no more than that. Making sure we're not cheating or using other people's work when we are doing our assignments. Making sure that we understand that school starts when the bell rings and it ends when the bell rings. Understanding that attendance is required. You need to be in class and making sure we're following safety policies and guidelines. And this basically means that when we have fire drills or lockdowns, we're following safety procedures as stated in either handbooks or what the district has said or what the principal has said. So in this class, we will also be using technology. This means that you're going to be using your laptops, you're going to be using ebooks to do some of the reading assignments that are part of the class. We're going to be using websites like Khan Academy, News ELA, and Flipgrid to do some of those works. And it's important that you use them to the best of your ability. You're making sure you're using it respectfully. And along with this means that we are going to have fair use contracts that you will sign that outlines everything that you will be doing when you're using the technology that you need to complete assignments. So this means that you aren't going on websites that aren't permitted, that you aren't destroying the technology that's being borrowed. And if any of those things are breached in the contract, if you aren't using your technology effectively, we will get parental and guardians involved. Also, administration will be notified because you have breached the contract that you yourself signed and that I signed, along with your parents and your guardians. And this just allows everybody to be accountable for their own actions. So ultimately, it's our classroom rules and procedures are just created to make sure that we have a fun, a safe, a caring, and respectful learning environment for everybody to feel like they can come here and learn. And it's also important that we follow these to the best of our ability because ultimately this is what's going to help us learn. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. And thank you.